inspiration. They inspire us. They take us up, not forward. They take us at the higher level. We, from ordinary human being, we become superhuman. We attain that state of realization. So there are different type of leaders, spiritual leaders. So here Bhagavan is giving advice to such spiritual leaders that don't create disturbance in the minds of ignorant people, engage them into various activities and slowly guide them on the right path. Don't stop them, because once person start acting, if you stop them, then to start that person again is very difficult. Starting trouble we have. So let that person keep on acting, but guide that person in the right channel. Joshet sarva karmani vidvan yuktas samacharan. Vidvan himself remaining integrated and established in his own self should inspire everyone else around. Now it was said that ignorant person and they are attached to their karmas. What do you mean by ignorant? What is the meaning that we are ignorant? And how exactly actions happen? What is the mechanism behind action? This is the most fascinating topic now. Bhagavan begins from verse number 27. He tells us how action happens and what is the meaning of being ignorant and what is the meaning of being wise. Let us see. Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvashah ahankara vimodhatma karta hamiti manyate prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvashah ahankara vimodhatma karta hamiti manyate. Bhagavan says that all karmas, karmani sarvashah, all karmas, whether they are worldly karmas, actions which we perform, or whether we are performing some special spiritual activity or religious activity, all activities which are performed by the body, mind, intellect, with our speech and all activities, sarvashah, entirely, all activities are performed by the gunas of Prakriti. Prakritehe gunaihi kriyamanani. All activities are performed by the gunas of Prakriti. Now these two terms have come now. We'll explain. And an ignorant person, ahankara vimodhatma, getting deluded, his antakarana, mind and intellect gets deluded by ahankar, sense of doership, and then he comes to maintain a notion that I am the doer. Karta aham iti manyate. It's very interesting. See, like everything, like our watch is functioning, so there must be something, mechanism because of which it functions. If you open it and check it out, we will find that there is some battery which gives it the power. Then various gears are there and various things are there which makes it function. In those good old days, we used to have those watches and we used to give them chabi laga dete. So mechanically they were getting activated. So by giving that spring is to store the energy, and slowly it releases and the different gears will then function. Some big gears will move in one direction, some other gears will move in other direction, and some other things will be there. And in this way, the whole watch will function. Similarly, if we analyze our own personality, we will find that there are various parts which make up this external personality, not the Atma. But this external personality which one has got, which is called the upadhi of the Atma, the dress of the Atma. Our body, our mind, our intellect is like a dress worn by the self. And this whole functioning is performed by the dress only. There's like a science fiction movie, tuck, 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 all the dress is there and it performs all action. So like that, our dress is made up of Prakriti. Prakriti is a very interesting term which is used in our scripture for nature or for matter. Matter is called Prakriti, and that consciousness which is enlivening this matter is called Purusha. So these two terms are used, Prakriti and Purusha. So Atma or Brahma is called Purusha, and that which is seen or witnessed by or which forms this world is called Prakriti. And this Prakriti is inert, but it is activated by the presence of that self or the Purusha only. Without the presence of the self, this Prakriti by itself cannot function. This Prakriti itself in some places is called Maya. That term is also used, which will come in the 7th chapter and all. Bhagavan calls it Maya. So what we call Maya is Prakriti. And what is this Prakriti? Prakriti itself is it has got 3 gunas in it. Sattva gun, Rajogun and Tamogun. Gunas means qualities. 3 qualities are there in this Prakriti. Sattvagun, Rajogun and Tamogun. Tamogun is inertia, jadatva, inertia, lethargy. That's a quality of Prakriti, which we see in all matter. If a matter remains at one place, it remains at that place only. घर में कोई चीज़ रखी एक जगह पर वहीं पर रहती है, unless you lift it and keep it somewhere else. Or a thing in motion continues to be in motion. Like all the planets and all stars and all, they are moving and they are continuously moving. Till somebody stops them, they will continue moving. So that is the nature of inertia. It is there in nature. Inertia. That is called tamogun. This inertia is called tamogun, which is experienced in all matter. All matter has got this tamogun. But body is also made up of matter, so it also likes to remain at one place like. अरे चलो उठो कुछ करो, don't tell me. So tamogun it is called. But in this matter also we find that this matter also doesn't remain all the time at one place, but inherent in this matter also sometimes we see a lot of activity. Matter itself is inert, but that matter keeps on moving. Very strange. The essential nature of matter is inertia, but this matter which has got this essential inertia nature keeps on moving. It's like a watch which is, if you leave it alone, it is stationary, but somebody is constantly moving it. Similarly, this in matter we find a lot of activity, and that activity is called the Rajogun. This Rajogun is seen at all levels, which is also a quality of Prakriti. It's a very scientific analysis of our world. And the third thing which we notice is intelligence. This world is made up of intelligence. It is not a mad world. It is not a haphazard world. It is intelligent world. It is not just something thrown just like that. Everything has got some order. Even the most erratic and most chaotic thing also has got some order. Nowadays, there is a chaos theory, wherein they have understood that even so-called chaos has got some order in it. It's not chaotic. All the stars and planets and all, they also are formed with certain laws and principles. They're not just like that. So this intelligence, which is also an expression of Prakriti or nature, is called Sattva Gun. So Sattva Gun, intelligence, Rajogun, activity, and Tamogun, inertia. These three qualities together is called Prakriti. So Prakriti has got these three qualities, and all these three qualities, when they are in equilibrium, when all these three qualities are in equilibrium, that is the state when the whole world is not there, means it has gone into laya, it is called. Pralaya, laya. This, like our sleep. In our sleep also, in an individual level, the whole Prakriti goes into a state of equilibrium only. Sattva Gun is there, Rajogun is there, Tamogun is there, but as far as we are concerned, nothing is expressing at that time. It is in the state of equilibrium. When these three gunas go into a state of inequilibrium, then the creation is seen or happens. So all the time, in creation, there is a state of inequilibrium. Science also somehow talks in this language at places and differ at places. It talks about entropy, talks about some equilibrium and all. And according to science, the entire cosmos at one time was together and was like a point, like a bindu, like a point. And then there was a nada. In our scripture also they talk about bindu and nada. From that bindu came that nada, om, and that whole creation happened. So this Samya Avastha is called Prakriti. It has got three gunas. And from this Prakriti alone is expressed this whole world. The entire world which we experience is an expression of Prakriti. थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. Now, one more. This world which we see, it has got 24 components. According to Vedanta, this world which we experience has got 24 components, parts. And those parts are called Tattva. More about this you can read in some Vedanta book like Tattva Bodh. It talks about this Tattva. This world is made up of 24 parts. What are those 24 parts? Actually, this whole thing, if we understand, then the statement of this verse and the next verse will become very clear. So, little patience. So, 24 parts. Ready for the 24 parts? Yes. Simple parts, all of you know them, but now when enumerate them, then it will become more clear. So, from this Prakriti, first is born as though the 5 great elements: Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. Akash means space, Vayu is air, Akash, Vayu, Agni is fire, Jala is water, and Prithvi is earth. Earth means matter. Not earth means our earth. Earth means solid matter. So Akash is the subtlest. Then comes Vayu, which is it is also subtle. Then that expresses as fire, which is little gross. Then further it expresses as water, which is still gross. And then finally it expresses as solid matter. That's called Prithvi. So these 5 elements are there. They are also 5 tattvas. And these 5 elements, they have 5 characteristics. Each one has got one characteristic. The characteristics of Akash is